70 years since Her Britannic Majesty. Of course, she inherited on the good weather, plus coronavirus has virtually disappeared in 1952. The celebrator, I mean, it's a manageable nuisance. Anyway, so I was there near the Mall today and I wanted to get close, but I couldn't really because the crowds were just so dense. There's so many police officers, so many streets closed. Maybe I should have filled a bit of the crowds. They eventually locked the park. You could get out, you couldn't get in. So I think you had to be there hours early. A bit of me regrets it. I mean, I'm never going to see another Platinum Jubilee. To be there in the crowd and seeing people are just delirious with ecstasy as Her Gracious Majesty was going to come out onto the balcony, but she did that about 1 o'clock. I had to go somewhere. I suppose I could have hurried back and made it 1 o'clock, but I don't think I would have been able to fight my way through that incredibly dense throng. So there was such a gigantic multitude that had foregathered there on the Mall. So they congressed from all parts of the realm and indeed Her Britannic Majesty's realms and possessions beyond the seas and islands unto them appertaining and all the rest of it. Some from Commonwealth countries, some not. So it seemed to be a fair cross-section of Britannic society, of course with a bias towards London because it was held in London. Not so many people were going to come from Northern Ireland and so on. You found the flyby, the fly past, yeah, highly emotive. Well, me too. And I was some distance away when I saw them flying away from that. The Red Arrows, which is the United Kingdom's aerobatics team, equivalent of what is it, like Freccia Tricolore, or whatever they have for Italy. I can't remember what the Turkish one is called. And there's this Patrie Suisse as well, like Swiss Patrol. I don't know what the American one is called. But is that a bit of a waste of money? Because, okay, it looks fantastic, but it's not actually got a combat role. But they are combat pilots. But should they spend their time doing that rather than public money doing something which is not to be used in combat? I mean, even all these fantastic uniforms with the gold braid and the bearskin hats, and even the time the troops put into it, rather than training or performing other military duties. Because, I mean, I think it looks splendiferous. Other people don't think it's quite so phantasmagorical. But even if, like me, you think it's splendid, you know, the army's not about theatricality. It should be about actual military service. Or it boosts morale and it builds unit cohesion. Well, there's all that. But is it just breaking starch, these show horse units? Anyway, today was the trooping of the colour, which takes place every June, the colour being a flag. So there's the household division or the household brigade, same things. Septem Juncta in Uno is their motto. 7 joined in one, as in order of foundation. There's the Coldstream Guards, the Grenadier Guards, Scots Guards, the Irish Guards, the Welsh Guards, and the 2 Horse Guards regiments, which is the Life Guards and the Blues and Royals. So 7 regiments, Blues and Royals regiment. And so each year, one of the 5 regiments of Foot Guards their year. Now, all 7 regiments will participate, but one of the regiments of Foot Guards will be the main one for that year, have its colours and its flag carried past, so they'd recognise, these did the night before the battle, this is your regimental flag, so you'll recognise that. And, you know, when there's chaos in the fog of war, and there's blood and guts flying, and a cannon booming out, and the groans of the dying, and whinnying of horses and so on, and there's poor visibility because of smoke or dusk drawing on, if you can see that flag, that is the rallying point. That's the centre of your regiment. So stay there or move with that. Anyway, so that ceremony takes at least an hour, takes place at Horse Guards Parade, and only various VIPs got in for the seats. I've been to the Beating of Retreat, which is a similar ceremony once, and my goodness, that's 20 years ago. So anyway, and then also, so Prince William had a leading role in that. He's a Colonel-in-Chief of the Irish Guards, as another substantive rank, an honorary rank, and various other members of the British royal family were there. Her Gracious Majesty didn't go because she's indisposed. She's 96. She's largely immobile. She uses a wheelchair in private. She doesn't want to be seen with that in public. But she did go to the Chelsea Flower Show in a buggy, a bit like a golf cart, rather than walk. How much longer is the old gal going to be going concern? I don't know. I wish her health and happy years. But, you know, she's transitioning out of that role. Long ago, she ruled out any prospect of ever abdicating when she's 21. On her birthday in South Africa, she said, "I declare that my held life, be it long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the great Commonwealth family to which we all belong." And then she reiterated that in 2002, her Golden Jubilee, as in 50 years as monarch, that she would never stand down, unlike the King of the Belgians, the Queen of the Netherlands. Who else has done it? The King of Spain lately. Many other monarchs have stepped aside. So even though other councils of state, the next four of the line to the throne, are increasingly taking over her duties, and she's making fewer appearances, briefer public appearances, because she just doesn't have the strength for it. So saving her strength when she can sustain herself through these very brief public appearances, where she did come out on the balcony with a curtailed royal family. Prince Andrew was not there, as it happens, as coronavirus. Well, more's the pity. On bended knee, I'm praying for his swift recovery. Anyway, Prince Harry wasn't on the balcony, thank God, nor was the Wicked Witch of California, Meghan Markle. Rather than go see her father, who may well be dying, she decided to show up at this shindig. Incidentally, as recently as about 6 years ago, she actually had a good relationship with him. So what's changed? She's changed since she got royal. Anyway, so hundreds of thousands of people cramming in there, and I was there myself 20 years ago, so I somewhat regret not doing, but I'll try and attend some royal events tomorrow. So she's on the balcony for about 15 minutes. Prince William was there with Her Royal Highness Princess Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, and their three children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, and so forth. And many people were there bedecked in Union flag clothing. I don't possess any of that myself. So the Troop of the Colour, 1,500 soldiers took part, 350 horses and so on. Of course, they haven't done it the past 2 years because of coronavirus. And there was a fly past of over 70 aircraft. There are even some Spitfires from the Second World War still in good working order. So pretty incredible that the mechanics have kept those airworthy. Apache helicopters, Typhoons, and so on, and then trading the red, white, and blue smoke. They try and do red on the left. It depends on which way you're looking at it, and the white and the blue on the right, because otherwise it's the French flag. Now, what would be really smart if they could cross over diagonally to do the Union flag. But I think that would be on them to coordinate that to the second. So it actually looks like a Union flag very briefly. Yeah, so that was it. I mean, a kind of rip-roaring success, really. But yeah, Princess Meghan and Prince Harry, they were in the Duke of Wellington's office, and they said they had a good coin from which to see the whole thing taking place, with some of the lower down members of the royal family, lower down the rank of succession. So yeah, been good so far. Could have tripped them up and actually caused them injury. So that's happened. So tomorrow is Friday the 3rd of June. There's a third serving of Thanksgiving at St Paul's Cathedral in the City of London. The City of London being the financial district, the most historic part of London. The whole of London is not the City of London. Only about 1 square mile is the City of London. And then for Saturday, 4th of June, there's a platinum party at the Palace. Music from all sorts of artists, including Diana Ross, who's a Commonwealth subject. And Sunday, the 5th of June, is the big Jubilee lunch. 10 million people across the United Kingdom thought to have street parties. There'll be some London pageant and military parade. There'll be huge puppets going around. Ed Sheeran will be playing music. Maybe he's in love with my body. So far, it seems to be a rip-roaring success, and has actually had people not talking about politics just for a brief moment. Thought to have stimulated the economy. A lot of tourists to come in, people spending money. There's a 4-day weekend, so Thursday, Friday were days off work, as well as Saturday, Sunday. So it's been celebrated, obviously, throughout the United Kingdom. I mean, there was an 82-gun salute to the Queen. I don't know why 82. Like 21-gun salute. Well, it's not even times 4. She's not 82 years old. She's 96. And she's not 82 years on the throne, she's 70. The longest reigning monarch in history anywhere in the world was the Sun King, Louis XIV. He served 72 years. The Queen might make it to 72 years on the throne. So the guns fired from Edinburgh Castle, from Hillsborough Castle, that's Her Britannic Majesty's official residence in Northern Ireland, in Cardiff Bay, in Colchester, where the Royal Anglian Regiment has its headquarters, and so forth. So far, a completely feel-good thing, and I must go and experience a bit more of it myself. Okay, toodaloo.